Yeah, what's going on, guys? Ankit here. Welcome back to the channel, and this is the final war of the season. We will be going over the season stats, we'll be going over where we are currently looking to place, and we're also going to go over some of my deaths that I had this season. So I'm not really going to talk too much about the fights except for one or two of them, and I will mention that when we get there. I also haven't really edited in my stats yet, so it's gonna show up at some point for you guys. I just don't know where I'm gonna place them. It's gonna be up there for like a minute or so, just so you guys can take a look. Alright, so we're going up against Latin American Alliance, LAPES, and the main idea over here was to make sure we win, of course, because winning this would secure masters for us. Right now we are rank 18 in total masters, and winning this would put us at 15 or 14. And oh yeah, we're also doing a boss rush over here, so we are going all the way to the boss, and we are, I think I have only 10 fights this war, which is my, well, or one of my lowest amounts of fights that I take the whole season individually per war. But yeah, so in total I took about 105 fights this season. I had one stupid death to Killmonger, then I had a timeout to Sasquatch, I had a death to America Chavez, who was a rank 4, so Chavez and and Sasquatch were both rank 4s, both on the same node, Conflictor. That Honduras Chavez, I'm definitely not going to take her anymore. And against Sasquatch, I'm just going to switch up my strategy. And then I had one death to Mojo on Missing in Action. I've done that fight before. I just, like I mentioned during that war video, that I wasn't in the mood because, you know, we were just like, or rather I was just putting in too much, and I felt like it wasn't paying off. But of course that was like my mistake. We shouldn't really just give up or stuff like that. And here we got a Mysterio Powersnack, and if you guys watched my previous video, I ate two heavies actually, and that did quite a significant amount of damage. And this fight goes perfectly, and this is exactly how I always play Mysterio, but it was just that last fight I hadn't taken him in a very long time, so he messed me up a little bit. But yeah, going back to the season stats, so 105 fights and let's say 4 deaths, because there was one timeout, 3 deaths, but yeah, we'll just call it deaths. And I don't think those stats are that impressive, but I'm just, that's like from 9 wars as well, so that's not 12 wars, because if it was 12 wars I would have had around 140, 145 fights, pretty sure, because I average at least 11 per war. My lowest amount is 10. I usually take 11, sometimes 12, and rarely I take 13. So 13 and 10 are like the lowest amounts, lowest and highest amounts of fights, because I mean 13 is the maximum you can take, and 11 is usually average, sometimes 12, because I usually leave either Conflictor or Mixed Master. Like those two nodes are usually the nodes that I leave up for other players, like for better options pretty much. And oh, this was a Mordo on Footloose, so this is a really tough fight. I'm not going to take this anymore, and you will see why that's the case, because, well, I was an idiot right at the start. I just like wanted to get in my light attack first, but that didn't work out. And then over here he becomes passive, and he gets his SP3. But then I said, sure, I can just tank it. And when I hit him with the SP1, I remembered that this is Force of Will. So that means I cannot reduce his ability accuracy, which means I need to go for SP3 rotation. So that meant that I cannot actually do any more I cannot do any more, or rather I cannot get any openings, because you know SP1 is one of the best ways to get openings, or SP2. And then over here I'm just waiting for him to throw the special too, but you can see like the fight is not going my way. It's definitely a very bad matchup for Kingpin, and I just didn't think about this. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be easy, there's nothing really difficult about this. So most of the time I'm trying to take some blocked hits, or just take some hits to the face to build up power, because that actually works, and that was like no jokes, it definitely pushed me to SP3. And then here I blocked the SP1 like an idiot, thinking that it's gonna give me power, but I totally forgot that I had buffs on me. So then I go for my SP3, and I don't remember if I think I was 200% special attack boosted, because you know we were going all out. Let's see, yeah, I was 200% boosted, because I almost got like, yeah, there you go. And I was using 30% what do you call that, champion boost, plus 20% HP and 15% attack. So all those were like the 6-hour Alliance War boosts. And yeah, you can see that like I really need to intercept, otherwise this fight isn't really going my way. And like I agree, this was a really bad option, like to use Kingpin over there. I don't think that placement is good, it's just that Kingpin isn't a good option over there. You can just use Omega Red or I don't know, Archangel with Invul boost. I'm not sure, but yeah, that guy is not a very good option. So yeah, those are my that was the fight that I wanted to talk about, or two of the fights that I wanted to talk about. And as for my season stats, 105 fights, 4 deaths, and I don't really count the potions and all that, so I don't remember. As for the amount of loyalty, I think I just use up around 150 or 200,000. Like I'm in negative, or rather that's the one that I've used up, if you compare from season start to season end, which is not too much really. Currently the war is still up in the air, but it's like highly likely that we will win, because we just have like 8 fights left and we are at 6 deaths, and the opponents have like half the map left, like 70 fights, and they're at 4 deaths. So we don't know what's gonna happen, but it's highly likely that we will win this war and get those sweet Masters rewards. But overall the Alliance did improve quite a lot. There were like 2 people in my BG that died. Like both of them were needless deaths. One guy just, so if you see that Scorpion, one guy just didn't read. We actually asked him to take Archangel versus Scorpion, but he took Nimrod, because that was the old plan. And like that wasn't the old plan, that was just what we had written down, and the other officers and I was going over the plan, and I said that no, you cannot shock Scorpion. So then yeah, anyways, that was like a stupid death. And then there was a guy on path 4 who died to null using a mole man, and that guy has died once every war. Like I don't know what it is, but BG2 cannot really find a really good path 4 person. They just die a lot. That guy has died once every war this season, and he came in from Magneto, like 8C Magneto, and he was supposed to be like the better player, supposedly, or you know, or at least like one of the better ones. But yeah, that's what it was, and he has died to Claire using rank 4 thing. He has died to, I think he had a rank 4 mole man and he took him down. I don't remember, but I'm kind of sure. He has died to that null like multiple times over there with his rank 4 mole man. He has died to Spider-Ham on the brute force with a mole man. Like I just can't tell you how many times he has died. I think he had like 1 or 2 wars where he didn't die, but those were like just 3 or 4 fights. Like 2 wars ago he had only 3 fights, or maybe 4 fights, and he died on the first or the second fight, which is also path 4, like section 1. So he just got kicked immediately. Oh no, he didn't get kicked, he just got removed from the line groups. We're not kicking him without reason. or without him getting his reward. So he was removed from all the line groups immediately as his paths finished, and we're definitely never gonna take him back again. Anyways, he was like taking a break or retiring or whatever, so it anyways worked in our favor. But yeah, those are my season stats, and that is the ranking. I just hope, like, there's a only 10 or 15% chance that if Lapes or this alliance decides to pilot, that they may win against us, because these guys have died 10 to 20 times. Like, that's their range of deaths in this season, and they've died, the least amount of deaths was versus a low platinum 1 alliance. So someone at like our level, high platinum 1, low masters, they have usually died about 15-14 times. So we don't know how many times they're gonna die more. They still have half the map left, and they have like 4 deaths already. But yeah, that is the idea, right? Or that's the situation right now. We are hoping that we win this, which is like highly likely, and we're gonna get Masters rewards, first time ever. And then the Hellfire Club has some announcement coming out in like a day or two. Plus we got that Hellfire Club Battlegrounds tournament going on as well. So we're gonna see what we do with that, or how that turns out. I will be playing my first match tonight, so I will be posting those videos separately. It's, I think, out of 28 players, so it's a knockout type of like a playoffs kind of a thing, where one match, if you win, you proceed to the next round and all that kind of stuff. Typical tournament style. Oh yeah, so we, as I mentioned at the start of the video, we're doing the boss rush, and we had Hulkling. I had Hulkling on missing in action, and I told the leader or the officer that I can take it, but he has a rank 4 Tigra, and he was gonna bring his rank 4. I think his kitty is rank 4. Shout out to him, by the ways. We were talking yesterday, and he said that how come I don't give him a shout out. So shout out to Sam, the officer in BG2. But then I'm like, you screwed it up, because then he told one of the players to go to the wrong path. I'm like, you fucking idiot, you messed it all up. And he died over there, of course. Yeah, that was that. But yeah, he did a really good job this season. The placements have been really solid, or sorry, the planning has been really solid, and his communication and acceptance to, you know, other people's suggestions and all that stuff has been quite good. So BG2 has had only one war, I think, if I remember, or maybe 2 wars where we died about 6 times. Outside of that, we've only had one, or the first war was the only one where we died once, which was me. Could have been a donut. But then outside of that, we've had most wars between 2 and 4 deaths, and I would say mostly 2 and 3 deaths. Some wars, like very few wars, we've had 4 or maybe 5 deaths. So yeah, at the end of the video, at the end of the clip here, I'm gonna leave you guys with a photo, and we were right after this Doom fight. This was within the first 4 hours of the war, like 4.5 hours of the war. I beat the Doom boss, and I just went to the Alliance war chat, and I was like, you know, all this bet on Fat Man, and they saw that I already beat their boss, and they were saying something in Spanish I don't understand. So I asked the other guys in the Alliance, and they mentioned he is saying that they actually banned Kingpin, but something happened magically. He wasn't banned, or officially he wasn't banned, blah blah blah. And you are lucky, or or be grateful that he isn't banned. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Well, not that I know, but people banning or not banning Kingpin is a big mistake, because one of my good friends, he's in Platinum 4 Alliance, like a really relaxed alliance. He had a Kingpin ban, And I'm like, well, you guys are probably gonna, you know, die a lot, because they usually die a lot, but with Kingpin bans they would die even more. And then one guy towards the end of that Alliance War chat said that something like, I'm just gonna reiterate because his English wasn't perfect, so he just said like, oh, Legacy says that Kingpin rank 4 is stupid. And he was like, had a laughing emoji or something. And I said, yeah, you definitely need to ban, or I mean, Kingpin is definitely top skill in the game, in my opinion. It just shows, man, he can do so much, and I really fear that the day is coming where he is gonna get banned very soon. Because I'm not 100% sure, but I think the next global has something to do with debuffs, where whenever you use a special attack you might be inflicted with a debuff or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but looking at the attacker tactic that we got this season, that's the one that's gonna come next season as well, as a counter to the global that's gonna be in season 38. Well, we'll know, I think in a day or two we will, or yeah, by the weekend we will have announcement on what the next global is, what are the Alliance War reward changes as well. That's like a big one, big thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. Easy war, good war. Hoping to stay in Masters. Congrats to everyone in my alliance, and kudos to them as well for putting up a really good war, a really good season, like pushing us to the edge. And yeah, we definitely deserve that master spot. Alright, so here's the image, and I'll check you guys next time. See ya.